Hello friends and welcome to Nag Graphics. We are doing the chapter of line segment tools, and in the first episode of this chapter we discussed about line segment tool which draws straight line, and in this tutorial we will discuss the second line segment tool which is the arc tool. This tool is used to draw curved lines. Simply click and drag to draw the arc. Similar to the line segment tool, this tool reacts when drawn with Shift and Alt keys. Let's discuss about this. Press Shift and drag to draw an arc with equal width and height. Notice the figures displaying in the measurement labels. As you drag it, it will keep the height and width equal. Press Alt key and then drag to draw the arc, making its originating point as a center point. Press both Alt and Shift keys and then drag to draw a center outward arc with equal height and width. While dragging the arc, press up or down arrow keys to increase or decrease the curve of the arc. Your mouse key should be kept pressed while increasing or decreasing the curve. Press F key while dragging the arc to flip it on the other side. You can also press the X key to flip it on the other side. A drawn arc is an open path, and in case you want to close it, press C key, and it will close the path in this way. Press C key again to make it an open path. While drawing the arc, if you feel like you want to change its location, press spacebar while your mouse key is still pressed and move the shape to the desired location. To draw the arc with greater precision, click once on the artboard to open its dialog box. Now let's discuss the option of this dialog box. The first thing is the length of x-axis. This will decide the width of the arc. Second is length of y-axis. This will decide the height of the arc. This bounding box will be discussed at last after I discuss all these options. Then we have type. There you have two options. Open will draw an arc like this, and close will close the arc like this. Then we have the option of base along. Y-axis means the arc will be drawn in vertical direction like this, and x-axis means the arc will be drawn in horizontal direction like this. Then we have slope. Select the curvature value by entering the desired number in the box, or you can use the slider to set the value. Value ranges from positive 100, that is full convex, to negative 100, that is full concave. At last we have fill option. This will fill the line with the currently selected fill color. Like we discussed in the line segment tool in the previous lesson, here also this is a very thin fill which is almost negligible, and you would always want to keep this option unticked. The resultant line according to the above values will be originated from the point of click. But here is one thing to notice. If you want to draw a center outward drawn arc with dialog box, then before I click once to open the dialog box, I will press the Alt key. Now if I click OK, then a center outward arc will be drawn. There is one option which I left in the dialog box, and that is reference point. Here you are looking at a bounding box with 4 corner points. You can select any of the 4 points to set a reference point. Theoretically, Illustrator assumes a bounding square box around every shape we draw, and reference point makes the originating point of the shape as any of the corner points of that bounding box. You will understand this concept quite well in this exercise. Watch carefully. This exercise will make you understand the concept of reference point used in many other tools as well. I've drawn a perfect 0-degree line. Now I'll pick selection tool. I will turn on the show bounding box from the view menu, and there you see a bounding box. Now I will select the arc tool and draw a random arc. Again, I will select the selection tool to have a view of bounding box of this arc. Now in context with this reference box, these are the 4 reference points which will decide the location of the originating point of the arc. Let's do a practical. I'll come over this point. Notice that the smart guides are telling me that you are over the anchor point. I will click this point to open the Arc Tools dialog box. Don't bother about other options and see if I choose the upper left cornered reference point. Arc will originate from this point, locating it as the upper left corner point of the bounding box. Arc is drawn and I select the black arrow to view its bounding box. Notice that I am not traveling up to the tools panel to select the black arrow tool. I will simply press the control key to activate the black arrow tool, and I'll keep it pressed until I want to use this black arrow. We discussed this topic of shifting to selection tool in a very previous lesson. So as I activated the black arrow, you have bounding box making the originating point to be the upper left corner point of the bounding box. Now, I released my control key to activate the arc tool again, and I'll click on the same tip of the line to open the arc tools dialog box. Now I will choose the lower left reference point, and this is the result. The arc has originated from this point only, but this time the location of the originating point was lower left corner of the bounding box. Now I'll repeat this exercise by selecting the upper right corner of the reference point, making the arc go like this. And at last, I will select the lower right corner reference point to make the arc go like this. So this was all about the arc tool. And in the next lesson, we will discuss the next line segment tool, which is the spiral tool. Thanks for watching NAC Graphics, and subscribe for more upcoming tutorials.